Okay, welcome to Ignite. This is fantastic. This means that you guys are going to just totally jump in and get started with your real estate careers. And I'm super, super excited. Some of you have more experience than others. And the purpose of today's session is to just get you acquainted with the program and what we're going to be doing moving forward. A lot of this is going to be a lot of foundational stuff that will build. So if you've taken Ignite before, you may hear something completely different. We also have some participant material, and that material, if you look at the Gmail, the Google Calendar through KWAG, there's a link there for participant materials for those of you guys who are on Zoom. And you can click on that and pull up the participant material. If you happen to come in person, then I will be able to give you a binder that looks like this with the participant material. If you don't have it, don't worry about it today, or if you don't have access to be able to pull up that information, no worries. Just shoot me an email at sharon.shaw@kw.com and just say Ignite, and I will send you that information so you're prepared for the following day. We didn't have anybody register ahead of time for this. I just wanted to leave the invitation open. And I would like you to send me an email. That way I know that you are participating today, and I can send you information moving forward. All right, well, let's keep going. And really, I want to talk about our schedule. I will be posting a schedule in our PC coaching Facebook forum. Coco is going to push it out. You guys will be able to see what to expect daily. There's 20 sessions total. And it goes from 9 to noon, Monday through Thursday. And then we also have enrichment that goes every Friday, and that's from 9 to 11. What that's going to involve is we're going to have guest speakers come in, and they're going to talk to us about open houses, and they do them at a very high level. We're going to have a social media panel, so people who do social media also at a very high level. And they're going to share like tips and tricks. They're going to be talking for about an hour, and then we'll be able to learn from them, and you'll be able to ask, any questions. Bring your questions. So in reality, this class will really last about 2 hours, and the last hour will be working on certain activities. We're going to be focused on making our calls, maybe handwritten notes, maybe social media posts. And it's an opportunity to ask questions, to get comfortable with, okay, great. What are the next steps? What do I tell people? What are the conversations I should be having? And so it's a great opportunity, that last hour of our Ignite class, for us to be able to practice conversations. If you're here in person, we can partner up and like, okay, great. What is it exactly we're going to say? Let's role play, and then we'll be able to move forward from there. Let's see, what else do we have here? So for today, so this is our schedule, basically. The real estate expert, that will be like the first 4 to 5 sessions. Then we're going to move into lead generation. That's the next several sessions. Lead follow-up, and then the transaction. Like, how do you maintain a transaction? When you're writing an offer, when you're working with buyers, when you're working with sellers. And then going back to our Friday schedule, let me tell you about that. So for our Ignite training schedule, I just want to talk about that real quick. So for the first week, that really is going to be this week is going to be real estate expert of choice. We're going to talk about like spark your career, embrace your job, connect with your market, define your value. And this Friday, just make a note, this Friday will be in Anchorage, the Friday Enrichment, and where our guest speaker is going to be Bill Uri. He's with the Barb Huntley team. And he does open houses at a super high level. He's actually offered, if anyone wants to shadow him and learn, how he does open houses, he's totally open to that. He lives in Anchorage, but he's done open houses in Eagle River and in the Valley. And he is a great resource. So he's really refined what open houses look like, and I'm excited for you guys to learn from him. Our schedule today's in Wasilla, tomorrow's Anchorage, Wednesday's Wasilla, Thursday's Anchorage. So every day is going to be a different topic. I've had some questions where people are like, hey, are we going to be covering, if you're in Wasilla, Monday and Wednesdays, are you going to be covering the exact same thing in Anchorage? No, every day is going to be a new topic. Okay, so I think I covered all of that. Yeah, and then this basically covers all 20 sessions. So this week we're going to be covering these first 4. Okay, so today's agenda, we're going to really focus on mindset. When we're in real estate, it doesn't matter if you're like 1 month in, 1 week new, like 3 years in, 10 years in, mindset is a big factor here. So I really want to make sure that we check in with you guys. Where's your mindset? What do you envision for yourself? And we're going to take that vision, and then we have certain actions that are going to take us to that finishing point. So we have a new way of thinking. We're going to talk about KW culture. So today's going to be a little bit about like everything KW, like where's the value in KW and how can we best support you? And then also KW resources. I'm going to point you in directions of like, all right, where can you find these resources and have all of this work for you and your business, your career vision. Again, we talked about vision and your mindset. And then we'll talk about a daily success system. This is going to be great because with the daily success system, we're looking at what are your daily activities, and then we'll cover any ahas and we'll recap things. We will take a break after an hour and just give you time for a little breather, and then we'll come back. Okay? All right. So can someone here read this quote for me?
Anyone can do it, not everyone will. Will you?
Yep, by Gary Keller. Gary Keller. So you'll hear us mention Gary Keller. He is one of the founders of Keller Williams. And he has this wonderful like mind. And we'll say there's a lot of Kellerisms. We'll have a lot of quotes from him, or and there's a lot of knowledge. He helped write the MREA, the millionaire real estate investor, and also the millionaire real estate book. So we will talk about those later. But in reality, like when you're first starting, it's so important that your mindset says, I can do this. You absolutely can. Real estate is going to be one of those things that is going to show you all of your shadows. It's going to display like where are your fears, what are the things that are getting in your way, what are the roadblocks, and oftentimes it's ourselves. We're getting in our own way. And I totally invite you to be like, I know what I need to do and why I'm doing it. So we're going to really, really tackle into what is your big why? And that's going to be leverage for you to be able to do anything. Okay, so here we go. Let me move this out of the way. All right, so we're going to start with 6 personal perspectives. This is actually a standalone class. And it's a great class because if you have an opportunity to be able to take 6 personal perspectives, I highly, highly recommend it whenever it's being offered again. But this talks about the six levels basically that you need to do to be able to succeed. And one of them is commit to self-mastery. What does that mean to you guys? Anybody from Zoom? Committing to self-mastery. Jeremy?
Mastering yourself, I guess.
Yeah, it's yeah, mastering yourself, working on yourself. Absolutely. Part of that is also like, what are you studying? What are you feeding your mind? I think that's really important. It comes down to like, what podcasts are you listening to? Are you watching the news? Is everything like, are you hyper focused on doom and gloom, or are you possibility thinking? So where is that? Are you studying yourself and your actions? How can you be a better person? Um, Self-help books are fantastic. There are business books. You can listen to podcasts. We have podcasts offered, the MREA podcast, which gives you kind of like little snippets and encouragement in real estate and some business tactics. One of the most recent ones that I listened to was like, how can I get better at social media? And I have this limiting belief of like, okay, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm unsure, but if you have a limiting belief, then really go focus on the things that you'd like to build and grow on. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me pull this up real quick. There's a couple things I want to touch on. The next one is committing to the 80-20 principle. Let me just get this pulled up. So I'd like to touch on this a little bit. Okay, perfect. So we'll touch on this. So committing to the 80-20 principle, and we'll kind of break this down a little bit. But let me just summarize these for now. So committing to the 80-20 principle, it's like really when you focus on 20%, the 80% is like the big stuff, and the 20% is like, okay, what are the things that are going to move the needle, move the needle forward. And then moving from E to P, this is entrepreneur to purposeful, and then make being learning based the foundation of your action plan, remove your limiting beliefs, and be accountable. So the first one we kind of touched on, commit to self-mastery. So know your goals, know your strengths and weaknesses, and know how to work with both your strengths and weaknesses, and seek and master the necessary knowledge, skills, and habits to reach your goals. So in reality, we really want to be able to self-reflect and look at ourselves, like, what are our weaknesses and where can we grow? And one of my favorite quotes from Tony Robbins is like, if you're not growing, you're dying. And I think that's something that is huge, because we are always growing. And if we're not committed to that, it's easy to stay stagnant and be left behind. Okay, so here's where we talked about the 80-20. So 20% of your actions lead to 80% of your results. So it's one of the most powerful principles that you can apply to your life. It's about getting the most from time and effort. It's about maximizing your results. It's about having focus. What would you guess is the most dollar productive activity for a real estate agent? Someone online.
Lead generation?
Lead generation? Yeah, absolutely. That is your 20%. Very good, Jeremy. Thanks. So yeah, we definitely want to make sure that your activity of lead generation is moving that needle forward. Does everybody know what lead generation is? And if you don't, basically it's our activity to be able to get in front of our sphere, to make connections, to have conversations. And these are leads. These are people that we're trying to connect with to be able to build our database and then form relationships. And then we become that realtor of choice. Okay. All right. Okay, moving from E to P. So the entrepreneurial approach. And do you guys notice these images? What is the biggest notice that you have? You see there's the box on the left, and we have a ceiling of achievement. And then there's different phases. And it seems like they're hitting the ceiling, they come back down, they're looking at options, coming back, let's try again, and that cycle continues versus the purposeful approach. So it's doing what comes unnaturally. Oftentimes, I see this a lot, and I've experienced it myself, where if you have focus and all of a sudden you're hitting the ceiling and things start to feel shaky. And it's like breaking through the sound barrier. You know, they're getting ready to go, 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 go. They're hitting, everything is shaking, the plane is shaking, and all of a sudden it's like you hear like this explosion and then pure silence, and you've broken that sound barrier. Same thing. When you focus, things can start to feel shaky, but if you follow the models and the systems, you can achieve a breakthrough. All right. All right, fourth part of the 6 learning perspectives, make being learning-based the foundation of your action plan. So here, you're knowing for knowledge's sake, right here, trivial pursuit leads to nowhere. So I know, let me move this because it makes it a little challenging to see. I know what I know, and I'll ignore anything else. Versus being learning based. I know what I know, and there's more to know. So I want you to self-reflect, where do you land? Do you notice that when you approach a situation that may be a little scary, new, maybe even now in real estate, how are you observing how you're showing up? And I want you to stay curious. That's the biggest thing I'd love you to do. My best advice to you is always to stay curious. Ask these questions. If you stay stagnant, your bank account will reflect that. I promise you. It will, and it'll feel harder. And if you ask any of the top producers and people who are successful in real estate, they've hit ceilings and they've had to kind of break through and get uncomfortable with their learning. So right now, you guys are going to be drinking from a fire hose, and I will be here to hold you steady. You guys are going to do great. All right. Okay, someone online, other than Jeremy, can someone read this?
I am neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I'm only very, very curious.
Yeah, absolutely. And undoubtedly, Albert Einstein was very learning based. Awesome. All right. So the fifth perspective is to remove your limiting beliefs. Okay. Can someone else online read this? And I may just call on you guys.
I can do it.
Okay, thank you.
Unlimited beliefs. When you unlimit your thinking, you unlimit your success. Limiting beliefs. I don't have enough time for training. I can't be successful in this market. I can't devote 3 hours each day to lead generation.
Absolutely. So open discussion, like what limiting beliefs do you guys have about real estate right now? Anybody here?
Limiting.
What are your limiting beliefs?
I mean, working dual careers has probably limited me, but there's time for it. I just need to make it.
Yeah.
That's probably one of them, personally.
Yeah. Matt, do you have anything?
I don't have time. That is a
Yeah.
constant for everything.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, that applies to two of those right there.
Right?
Two of the examples.
Exactly. And it's interesting when we start to like chisel down to like, is it true? Like, are we putting ourselves in a box? Are we preventing ourselves from expanding into something greater? Or is it that it just feels safe? It's a safe container to feel in, like, this is what I have control over, or if I release control, all will go to hell, you know? Yeah, absolutely. And how many of you like have fear of failure? Like, I'm not gonna do it right. Or and then sometimes that could lead to self-sabotage. Like, I just won't try it, or I'll just stay safe. So just be mindful of what those limiting beliefs are. And let's take a moment, like grab a notebook, grab a pen and paper, or just reflect on this. Think about what your limiting beliefs are right now. And for instance, like Matt gave a great example of, okay, I don't have time. And then Stephanie gave us one regarding like, well, I'm dual career. Like, can I, like, basically, can you balance both? Can you do it? Like, I don't have time, right?
It goes back to that.
So let's reframe that. So here's an example. I have to be an expert and I have to know everything before I can begin my business. I'm not valid yet. So we're going to swap that to, I am eager and confident to start my business now and learn along the way. So how can you reframe your limiting beliefs? So whatever that is, just take a few minutes to reframe what you just stated into a positive affirmation. I'll give you a few minutes to think about that and share. Okay, have you guys had time to think about it? How would you reframe it?
For the dual career, I mean, taking the time to learn it now gives me the opportunity to not do that in the future and be a single career and
Yeah.
go further into real estate.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like it gives you the ability to like, I can find balance.
Yeah.
I can find balance. And there are plenty of people who do it. It's just like, just being gentle with ourselves. We're often our like worst critics. And it's all good. Thank you for sharing. All right. Let me move this guy here. All right. So on one side, we have when life happens, right? And the sixth personal perspective is to be accountable. So on one side, we have life happens and then reality shows up. So on the left side, we have doesn't seek reality versus seeks reality. So one is ignorance, the other is awareness. And just take a moment to think about that. Like, if you're in a situation and you feel that everything's happening to you, there's a greater I feel like leverage of rise of consciousness if you can rise above and have a different perspective rather than being in it, and having that awareness. So rather than ask no questions, you can maybe look at, well, what's the situation, and rise above it. Sometimes if we're like involved in a disagreement, it's easy to be like, you're in it. Can you rise above that and be able to look at different perspectives? The second one is fights reality, and we're in denial. No, that's not the way it is. That's not how I see it. That's your perception. Have you ever seen a beach ball? It has so many colors. It has like red, it has yellow, it has white, it has blue. Can you envision this beautiful beach ball? What if I'm holding this beach ball and I see yellow, but Matt's on the other side and he sees blue? Who's right? We both are. So it's about perspective, right? So acknowledging reality, clarity. So you gain clarity by, okay, this is the way it is. I got it. I see what's going on. We both have different perspectives. How can we move forward from here, right? The third one, blames. There's projection. We have our own triggers, and it's easy to project and really start to practice this now, with whatever relationships that you're in, whoever you're having interactions with. Really look at this and start to show up from a point of awareness. And this is not making you better than others. This is just being humble. Like, how are you showing up? If you practice this now, I promise you, when you are in transaction with people, what's beautiful about this is the ability to be able to rise above a situation and look at things from a different perspective. Rather than blaming and saying, they're not doing this and they're not doing that. It's not my fault, it's yours. Rather than it's like, you know what? I had a part to play in this. I could have communicated a different way. What can we do to work together? So really looking at ourselves and being able to, this is a part of real estate that I wish everyone would learn. Real estate is one of the best practices for how are we going to show up as human beings, because we're dealing with people's emotions. Things get really, really high stress. And how do we remove ourselves out of it and bring self-awareness into it and take that higher road, with boundaries, right? So just taking ownership. This is all about being accountable. And so I really want you guys to reflect on this, especially those of you who are in PC. I think all of you guys are in PC. When we're going to have conversations about like, okay, what has happened and why is this happening to you? What is your part in it? And we really want to just be able to evaluate. Number 4, personal excuses, deflection. Like, well, it's not my job. I was never given a chance. It doesn't work here, versus finding solutions and possibilities. What are my options? How can I get what I want? And what can I do? Again, accountability. Like, what control do I have over things? Number 5 talks about weights and hopes. So if this is life happening to you, This is resignation. It wasn't meant to be, it will happen. If it was meant to be, it will happen. Time will tell, it's out of my hands. So this is just like waiting and hoping versus what control do I have over it? Like number 5, so get on with it. Action plan. Let's get started. Time's up. Let's go. This is what I will do. Like that's personal accountability. I think I've straddled that line before where it's like, okay, I release control and there's times to do that. But when I have personal control over creating change, then we want to be on the accountability side. Okay. And if you notice at the bottom, the left side feels very victim-like and you stay status quo. There's no change. You're allowing life to happen to you versus accountable. You are engaging with life. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay. Welcome, Kelsey. Hi. Be here. Can you read this?
Happiness is not an individual sport.
Absolutely. Thank you. So it's not an individual sport. So this quote is about happiness, and yet it applies to the businesses as well. Would you agree? So we are in the business of relationship, and people that we are dealing with are making the most expensive, like the biggest purchase in some of their lives, right? It's a big investment. And so we are showing up to be that steady hand. And it's so important. Like, we are almost like real estate fairies. I like to think that way because we have the ability to shift the energy of a transaction. If we show up stressed out and bring drama, what do you think is going to happen in that transaction? Drama. Our clients will feel it. Our job is to create that steady hand. So when they feel super stressed out, it's like, okay, we're going to be calm. Let's just talk about facts. Here are the options. And then we go from there. We keep that, like, it's not always like peaches and cream. We're not always going to be happy. But really what's important is we are highly paid problem solvers. That's what we are. And there are going to be problems that need solving. And so the more that we are grounded and we take care of ourselves and our level of awareness, if we can rise above situations, this goes a long way because then you are going to be their realtor of choice. They're going to be like, thank you so much. They're only going to remember how you make them feel. Truly. Think about that. Think about your last real estate transaction. If you purchased real estate or any dealings where it was stressful, do you remember even if it's just like in commerce or you're dealing with someone who's difficult? Have you ever seen a manager who comes in and they're like super calm and they're like, okay, thank you, Mrs. Shaw. We really appreciate your patience. This is what we can do. And rather than like create drama around a situation. So, yeah. So I want you all to embrace accountability. It's huge. We're going to, throughout these next few weeks, I'm going to encourage you to find an accountability partner. We each also will be meeting for coaching and that there's accountability there, but it's nice to have a peer that's your person to kind of bounce things past. All right. Any ahas, any thoughts at this moment of like anything we talked about that helps you with self-reflection? Or you guys knew all of this already? Anybody on Zoom? What was one of the biggest key takeaways? Which one of the, let's go back. All right, so looking at the 6 personal perspectives, which one spoke to you the most? Let's reframe the question. Anybody in here?
For me, it was remove your limiting beliefs. They really don't do anything for you other than hold you back.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing, Suki. Absolutely. Like remove your limiting beliefs. Wonderful. Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody in here?
That was the same for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's huge. Those limiting beliefs become really loud in our brains. They become really loud. And then you have to almost have a different voice in there to be like, you're wrong. and reframe it. Like I I I want to share that, you know, when you have those voices that come in, the more you engage it, then you start to create your own reality. So I invite you to just bring awareness into your day, especially with around this. That's a big one. We all deal with this. All right, here we go. Okay, next we're going to talk about culture. I'm going to move this down. Okay, so in KW, culture is a big thing. We do a lot around culture. Our company is devoted around service to others and especially to our peers and to our community. And so one thing that we do here in Alaska, definitely with Red Day, every May we hold a day called Red Day, and this is where we go out into the community and serve. In the past, we've helped to build fences, we've cleaned up parks, we've gosh, when I first started about 11 years ago, here in the valley, there's a cafe called in a nonprofit location called My House. We helped to kind of build a space there so they could have a boutique and have their cafe. And so that was a huge project. We've done Habitat for Humanity. We've helped veterans. Yeah, we've done like a cleanup in the community. So it's been something really noteworthy, and it's a day where we all wear our red t-shirts, we go out and it's like service to others. We just, it's not always about business. KW Cares, that is also at the heart of culture. This is a nonprofit where we donate money and it helps our other KW associates. Like if someone, like we've had a couple of associates who've passed away or they've had illness, and we've been able to help the families with some funds. And we actually have AK Cares. So you have options, like every time you close on a transaction, you can donate part of your commission to this. You know, I've seen people like pull $25 out of their commission every time, and it feeds into this. And then there are other things here, but I just really wanted to touch on those. Those are the biggest ones that I see right now. And then we have our MVVBP, mission, vision, values, belief, and perspective. So we'll take a look at mission and beliefs here. Oops, I went too fast. Okay, can someone here read our mission?
To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving.
Absolutely. This is what I love. I love this because Oops. Because what exactly are we working for? Like some of us have families, some of us have like legacies we want to leave behind, some of us maybe have aging parents, maybe some of us want to build something that we've never had before, create experiences, whatever that looks like. And in reality, like you're building a career and touching so many people with the business that you're building. So this is something that I really, really admire from KW, that they really focus on this. Okay, somebody online, can you guys read this? This is our KW belief system, our Y14C2Ts. And it's like that, like if you see this, you'll hear us always say something like that, but it's kind of like to help us remember what this is about. In each of our offices, we have this posted. In fact, in this conference room, we have it here. The only thing we're missing that they've added since is the equity portion. But can we have somebody online go ahead and read this?
W is a win-win or no deal. I for integrity, do the right thing. C for customers, always come first. C for commitment in all things. C for communication, seek first to understand. C for creativity, ideas before results. T for teamwork, together everyone achieves more. T for trust, starts with honesty. E for equity, opportunities for all. S for success, results through people.
Awesome, thank you. So I want you to take a moment and look at this and pick one that really resonates with you, and pick a belief, and how will you embody this belief in your business? Like which one does your eye gravitate towards, or that you're like, ooh, that's good? Anyone here want to share which one really spoke to you?
For me.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say trust
Mm,
for me.
trust starts with honesty. Tell me more about that.
Well, you need to trust in yourself most importantly, and then, build that trust with your client.
Absolutely. It's so true. How about you, Stephanie?
I was gonna say communication.
Oh, nice.
First to understand, especially in this industry, I don't think you can truly help someone until you understand what they're truly looking for,
Mhm.
what they value, and what you can help them with.
Absolutely. I like that. I absolutely, and you know what, it's, thank you for sharing that perspective, because when I saw that one, that was one that really resonated with me, but in a different way. And in a different way where, when there's a disagreement, and seek first to understand, like, can you put yourself on the other side of that beach ball? Can you understand their perspective? Why is that important to you? And digging deep. Tell me more about that. Like, stay humble and curious. Like, how can I understand you and what you're trying to ask of me? Because oftentimes we'll want to project. So that one rings true with me. How about you, Matt?
I like the win-win or no deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's common that people try and beat up the other side. But all transactions, everybody has to come out. I mean, even outside of real estate, like go to the grocery store, I would rather have milk than have $3.
Yeah.
And both sides are coming to an agreement, and we both come out ahead.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Isaac, how about you?
Probably integrity for me.
Nice. Yeah, do the right thing.
Yeah, it's like sticking to your morals.
Yeah, love that. That's huge. Like real estate is all about like that's really important. It's like doing the right thing. Even when you're like, man, I could totally go this way, but you know what? Walking with integrity is huge. How about you, Suki?
Think for me is that last one of success results are through people.
Yeah,
It's a people business, and um, I mean, we wouldn't be able to do anything without making meaningful connections with people.
absolutely. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, Jeremy, how about you?
The win-win, no deal, it's just a thing I like to live my life by. And even when it comes to like bringing on clients and stuff, you want to make sure that both sides are going to win in this transaction when you're bringing on a buyer or seller. It's not just, the contracts and stuff.
Yeah,
It's everything.
I've seen it. Yeah, we write transactions and then they're like, they're wanting to pummel you, and you're like, wait, can we come up with a win-win here? So it's not always that way. It's not always that way. Um, Jacob, I'm not sure if you're available to chime in. Do you have anything to add? I know you're busy with kiddos too. All right. If you're able to, yay. If not, that's okay. All right. We'll keep going. All right. So we did talk about Red Day, KW Cares, and KW Kids Can. This is dedicated to empowering young adults to unlock their greatest potential. So this is where actually Brian and I think have talked about this to be able to reach out to some schools to empower them through entrepreneurship. So that's something that we haven't done here in Alaska, but it is a nonprofit, and yeah, and so basically this nonprofit collects funds to be able to offer scholarship opportunities. And so yeah, these are all opportunities where you can donate to help. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about KW value and MC value. MC is your market center, and your market center is based out of Anchorage. Okay, the market center is Anchorage, and then we have our like satellite offices everywhere else. We have offices in Juneau and Soldotna, here in Wasilla and Eagle River. And then we have a team out of Fairbanks. All right, let's keep going. So I've got to update this for this year, but really we are the largest global real estate franchise, top franchise for veterans in 2024, top female friendly company, #1 real estate franchise in the US. So we are worldwide. We have, and then we just keep growing. So think about it. If you wanted to be able to refer worldwide, you have that ability. We have someone here who was on a team many years ago in Anchorage, and he moved to London, and he works KW London out there. Top franchise for women in 2025, 2024 tech trendsetter, most profitable franchises in 2024, and best use of AI by a brokerage and more. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. So we are a leader in training and coaching. So online, when you go on to KW Command, you will also see, and up here, you'll see KW Connect. KW Connect is your source for education. So when you hop onto Command, you have this ability to get onto KW Connect. So it has a whole bunch of like videos, or it has different type of training that you'll be able to have access to. And then we offer local training, and then there's regional training through the Northwest region. And the Northwest region consists of like Seattle, Oregon, I think Idaho, and Alaska. And so we are always working on bringing training up here. So last year we had somebody come up for a business planning clinic. We have Ignite. Last year we had, gosh, a bunch of different trainings that were offered, and we had flown people up to help with this. As far as like doing your 411 or some tech training. What else did we have? We had Train the Presenter, which was fantastic. So if you're interested in like public speaking, that is a great class to attend. This year, we will be rolling out some other trainings, and Amanda Charles is the head of the education committee, and I sit on the board with her. So if there's any training that you all are like, oh, can we learn this? Yeah, definitely let us know, and we'll make that happen for you. Other events that we have is family reunion. This is a huge gathering that's happening in every February. And they've had to change locations because there's tens of thousands of agents that come together from all over the world. I will say the world because sometimes I'll see like an international region where people are networking. Fantastic opportunity to network. It's like if you're new and you're drinking from a fire hose, if you go to a family reunion, that's like you have mega agents that are guest speakers and teaching you anything from, hey, how to use AI to social media, or how do they create events for their clients. What are their tips and tricks, and it's amazing. I've come back with notebooks full of notes, and the key is like, okay, what's the one thing that you're going to actually implement? But family reunion is fantastic. So once you get your feet under you, if you have the ability to attend family reunion, it's huge. It's amazing. This year it's going to be in Georgia, and it is in February. And then Mega Camp, it's a smaller version of that, and it's every August. So definitely if you're looking for like feeling the energy of people, being able to network, why would we want to network with other KW agents? Well, if you're not originally from Alaska, or your sphere is like from the lower 48, could you be referring your people to another KW agent, in the lower 48 to be able to potentially get a referral fee? So you could potentially get paid for referring to another KW agent. Keller Williams University, it has, and you'll see this image here, it has like a bunch of material that you can like, if you're like, oh, I want to learn about this, or I want to learn about that. It'll have all the material there, and Ignite is part of that KW University. And so congratulations on partaking and being a part of this. Yeah, I really applaud you for being open to your education and being open to learning something new. And then there's KW enablement, command training. Many of you, I've given you links to like our 66-day challenge for learning command. On that note, we have Command Jumpstart that is this week. They're doing it like periodically, but it's online and it starts at noon. So it starts right after this class. And I highly recommend that you get on that or get registered. They actually have a live trainer that's going to be teaching, and then there's going to be hands-on things happening this Friday. So it's an hour and a half after this class. And so I highly recommend you sign on. I'll send you guys all the link to register, but it starts today.
Should be at 1 to 2:30
It is 1 to 2:30.
is what the website said.
It says that Pacific time.
Is that Pacific time?
That's Pacific time. But if you translate it to Alaska time, it's noon to 1:30.
I'm gonna change my schedule.
Yep. So change that and then I'll get you guys links to register for that. Highly recommend it. Crystal LaFronde, who is our regional tech trainer for the Northwest region, is teaching that. I highly recommend that you hop on and do that. I'm hoping to end this a little early, so to give you guys a little breather, especially this week. I would love for you guys to attend that. It will help you. Then there's KW Maps. KW Maps is coaching at a high level. Maps coaches are like mega agents, and they have certain requirements that they have to meet in order to be a KW Maps coach. I think bare minimum cost for a Maps coach is like $1,000 a month. And then we have Maps coaches that teach, that travel and teach. And one of the classes that they teach is called Bold. So this Ignite is kind of like, okay, this is like your mini boot camp. Bold is like boot camp. They have a requirement. You have to make at least 20 calls a day or 20 contacts a day. And 100 contacts per week. And so there's certain requirements and expectations and accountability that's being held to celebrate your success. Typically, we see it offered in the fall time. We are debating offering it and having someone come up to do Bold in the spring to help get us like, okay, let's get the momentum going for summertime. I highly recommend it. Many people like myself who have been in the business for a while will take it multiple times. So we've taken it, like, I think I've taken it 5 times at least. It has changed throughout the years, but really it's working on your mindset. It's helping you create connections. And it works. It works, and you're on teams and you're helping encourage one another. So it's like boot camp. So that's not a scary thing. It just means you definitely, if you're looking for accountability, that is it. Okay. And then back to the coaching portion, like, so as your productivity coach, I have a coach. And I have a KW Maps coach. And so she helps me stay accountable to what my goals are in order to help build the program, but also for my own real estate business. Okay. So I think coaching is important. It's that person that will hold you steady and see the potential in you when sometimes you're like, man, like this is hard. It's like, psh, psh, you're gonna be okay. Keep going. So not that dramatic, but you know what I mean. Okay, another KW value is technology. So command. If you haven't been into command, like get deep and into it. You'll have to become familiar with it in order to get paid, because you'll have to put your transactions in here. This is also great for you to be able to put in your database, your contacts, your sphere of influence. And so the links that I've sent you all for like the 66-day command challenge will help walk you through how do you enter a contact. You really want to make sure you have at least 80% of your client's information in there. What does that involve? It could look like their address, their email address, and their phone number. Like if you have that, that's helpful. Bonus points if you get their birthday in there, because then it gives you an opportunity to stay in touch with them. But then, yeah, there's lots of things. You'll be able to put in contacts. It'll give you like a task list. And if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what all of these mean, here's a little trick. If you click the KW, then the descriptions will actually jump off to the sides and actually tell you what each of these are. So it will definitely help you grow your business, give you task lists. You can create smart plans to get in, stay in touch, stay top of mind with your clients. Your referral network from people from out of state, opportunities. This is where you put in your transactions, and you're going to upload documents so your broker can take a look at that and know where you're at. Including myself, I'll be able to see where you are in a transaction. And then, yeah, the reports or any other things, you'll be able to design emails or social media. We're integrated with Canva now. And then listings, you can create landing pages, and then this is your website where you're able to customize your own website and your own domain. Okay, and then we also have the KW command app. So there are two types of app. You have your client app and you have the KW command app. And with the KW command app, basically it's integration in your hand. You'll be able to see like, okay, great, what tasks do you have? What to do today? What to do soon? What's past due? Who to contact? It'll tell you who do you need to contact today? And what your follow-up systems need to be. Oh, guess what? This is where you can see like somebody's birthday's coming up. Great opportunity to pick up the phone and say, hey, long time no speak. Happy birthday. Or house anniversary. Like, what's their house anniversary? Once you start closing deals, then put in their house anniversary, and then this will pop up as a reminder. Okay. And then you have the KW app for your clients. And I suggest you download both. You will see when you pull it up on the, when you're going to download an app, you'll see a KW app with a white background, and then a KW app with a red background. Each one is different. And after today's class, I'll send you an email with how to download each of those. The one with the red background is for your clients. The one with the white background, sorry, the white background is for your clients. The red one is the command one. But I suggest downloading them and playing around with them and become familiar. Okay. And then this is the language of real estate. This kind of talks about like where our market center is year to year. I started to update this with like year to date, closed units, closed volumes, listings taken. Like really, we've seen a shift in the market, and we're still like selling quite a bit of real estate, and we're still very top tier, but there is a shift in our market currently. Okay, so then wanted to talk about our leadership team, and I've got to update this slide, but our operating principal is Matt Dimmick. He's also the broker in charge in Anchorage. The team leader is Brian. Our MCA, we actually have a new MCA in the works right now. And then we have for market center technology trainer, we have a regional person, but currently we don't have anyone that you can contact. You can reach out to myself or Brian, and we'll definitely walk you through any of your tech questions. If not, we can point you in the right direction, but Crystal Lefron is our regional tech trainer. We have ALC members. The ALC is actually a group of your real estate peers who have volunteered to be part of a committee here. to be able to make decisions for the company. So the company doesn't make decisions by themselves. They really want the input of the agents. So we have your peers here who are part of this. They also had different let's see, they're part of different committees. Some may be finance committee, others may be for education, culture committee. The culture committee are the ones who are helping to put together the gala this year. So we have a celebration every year to celebrate you guys and all of your accomplishments. And the culture committee is putting things together to bring us together to celebrate one another. Yeah. Okay. So let me take a look at the time. Okay, let's actually take a little bit of a break. If you guys want to take a 5-minute break, we'll come back and then we will continue from here. So let's see, the time now is 10:21. Let's actually do this. 10:21. Let's come back at 10:26. And you guys go ahead and take a water break and you use a bio break, and then we'll come back at 10:26. Okay? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start right back again. And so we're here in our next section where your, let's take a look. KW resources. Okay, so we also offer Keller Mortgage. And let me move this up a little bit. So Keller Williams also, I mean, like we have so many like branches, but there's Keller Mortgage. And then these others I'm not as familiar with and we haven't really explored much, but I know there have been some people who have used Keller Mortgage to be able to help their clients save some money. So it's worth exploring and looking at, but there's opportunities like they actually have done really great as far as being a competitive mortgage company. But anytime we're using anything like that, we need to be able to disclose that there's a business affiliation. And if you have any questions about that, I'll help walk you through that when the time comes. Okay. So KW communities, we've got diversity, equity, and inclusion, KW commercial. So these are different types of communities within KW. So like, let's say if let's say your focus is military, I'll just hop down to military. You can become part of the KW military community. And it's a great way to network, to get information. Maybe they need a realtor here in Alaska, or maybe you're wanting to connect with a KW military person down in Georgia. This is a fantastic way to network and become part of a group to be able to network with. So we have everything from KW commercial to KW land, KW luxury, KW military, KW new homes, KW sports and entertainment. This happens, this occurs with like the sports or entertainment industries. And then KW young professionals. This is for anyone, I believe it's younger than 30. 30 and under are the young professionals, although I'm not sure if it's open to everyone now. But definitely worth exploring. And then we'll look at your career vision. So, okay. So I want to take a moment. We're going to like pause. We just came off of our break. And I want you to just get comfortable. Wherever you're at, just sit comfortably for a moment. And have both your feet planted on the floor. And we're just going to get comfortable here for a moment because I'm going to have you close your eyes if you're able to, unless you're chasing after toddlers. But for a moment, I'd like you to just slow down. Maybe place your hands on your lap with your palms up and just get seated and grounded here for a moment. And in this moment, take this time to close your eyes and take a deep inhale in, exhale out, and just check in with your body. Just check in with your body. Take another deep inhale in, exhale out. And feel any tension that you may be holding in your body. I want you to use your breath on your next deep inhale. Exhale out any tension from your body. Feel into anywhere that you're holding resistance. You're thinking about your career in real estate. Just notice what's happening in your body right now. Your eyes are closed, the palms of your hands are up on your lap, feet firmly on the ground, and imagine yourself a year from now in real estate. And what sensations come into your body? Notice that. Take another deep inhale in. Exhale out. Now follow along with me with your eyes closed and just listen to my voice. Imagine we're a year from now. Your business is thriving and your life is everything you've dreamed of. How does that feel? How does it feel to have everything fall into place? Your customers rave about the experience and value you provide and think of you when they have a real estate need. Take another deep inhale in, exhale out. Imagine how your clients feel a year from now. Think of all the people that you've helped. Can you envision their faces? And your family and friends are so proud of your success and are consistently referring business your way. I want you to attach an emotion to that. How does that make you feel? So a year from now, we're celebrating all of these successes. You're helping others live their dream of owning a home because you're focused on helping them get what they desire. And they're so grateful to you. You're building the foundation and momentum for your entire career and gaining relationships and experiences and the income that you desire. I want you to envision this in your mind's eye. Your eyes are closed. Really feel it. Envision it. Taste it. It's said that when you envision things for at least 16 seconds and you attach emotion to it, your brain believes that it is real, it is attainable. Let's keep going. Let's envision you're the top agent of your market center or rookie of the year if you're new. You've got what it takes. You did it. Oh my gosh, we're celebrating you. We're at the gala and you are surrounded by your peers and they are so proud of you. You're proud of you. What does that feel like? You're like, man, I did it. I was so focused. I did this. Maybe a year from now, you're poised to hire a part-time assistant to handle your 80% while you take care of the 20% that grows your business. And you're so appreciative. And think about what this does for the people in your community. What does this for your family, for your loved ones, for those who are closest to you? And a year from now, you're on the path to whatever that looks like for you. What does that feel like for you? What are the next few steps for you? Take a deep inhale in. Exhale out. All right, you can blink your eyes back open. How did that make you feel? How do you guys feel about that? Anybody want to share? How was that experience? Did anybody drop in and go deep?
It definitely rejuvenated my mindset on things.
Good. Thank you for sharing, Jeremy. Good. And who intends to achieve the future they've envisioned? You all should be jumping out of your seat and saying, me, right? Like, truly, I want you to make this a regular practice. What do you envision for the next month? And what are the things that you can do? And check in with your mindset. What is it that you're going to be doing? And how do you envision success? If you've ever I mean, most of you, I'm sure, have heard of a vision board. And I came across a list of things. I always write down be, do, have. What am I going to be? Who am I going to be this year? What am I going to do? And what will I have? I totally encourage you to look at that. Who are you going to be? What have you done as if it's already happened? And what do you intend to have? What are you attracting in? And if you are partnered, then talk to your significant other about this. Like as a couple, or with those people that you hold dear, like having a similar trajectory. And I will tell you, it works. When you have a vision, it works. Use your refrigerator as your vision board because you can't get away from your refrigerator. So here's an example. I had a vision of wanting to take our family to Europe after my son graduated from high school. I felt very apprehensive about doing that. And my husband's like, okay, well, let's create a vision board. You love vision boards, let's do it. So we printed photos of countries that we all wanted to visit. I let my kids each pick a country. My husband and I picked a country. And so we ended up visiting, like, I think 5 different countries in 2 weeks. And we paid cash for the entire thing. We made the plan in January. And then by June, everything was paid for. And we made it a reality. So it felt scary. And then my husband's like, we need to envision this and let's put a date. That was the scariest part. By when? When are you going to do this? So if you envision that, okay, I'm going to do this by this date, like make it a game. What happens if you're like, all right, I'm going to have X amount of clients, or I'm going to close X amount of deals by this date? Like, make it a game and envision, what do your clients look like? Create an avatar for your client. I did that in the past too, where I'm like, okay, this year I want to work with people who are ready to retire or retired military or people who are in the medical field. And I actually printed a picture of what my ideal client looked like. I just found a picture of older generation people who are professionals and well educated. And then I also printed the second avatar of a family relocating from out of state that are so excited about moving to Alaska that you can't wait to tell them all about Alaska. And what do you think showed up that entire year? I had clients who had young family who were new to Alaska and super excited about moving there, or people who were leaving Alaska with families looking to relocate and start a new like a new life. And then I had military and retirees, and military medical professionals and retirees. So for me, I was like, yes, this was amazing. And it was one of my best years yet. So I invite you to do the same. Okay. All right, here we go. Any questions so far, or any other comments about this? Okay, so let's expand your thinking, all right? So for this next activity, there's a chart, there's this chart. If you don't have the materials, no worries. I just want you to listen and think. Let's expand our thinking beyond 1 year. What are you doing for the people that you care about? Here's an example. Sarah and Hunter get through school debt-free, $120,000. Mom and dad pay off mortgage, $18,000. You see? And then this other one, it's like donate cat habitat, $5,000. You know, if you have a special pet or you have a special idea of things like, so what are you doing for the people that you care about? Write that down. There's power in writing things down. What charities would you support? How would you make the lives of yourself and everyone around you better? And once you have those listed out, and you don't have to play small, like dream big. And once you envision that, like put a dollar amount next to it. What does it take to make that happen? And then you'll add up all those numbers, and that's your middle number. And don't limit yourself. Remember, we're breaking through limiting beliefs. Don't be like, oh, I'll never be able to afford 120,000 in tuition. Just put what you desire to spend. Just take a moment and write those things down. Remember, you're doing this for the people that you care about. What do you plan to do with the people that you care about? And it's important to establish a mindset of caring and gratitude along with your goals at the beginning of this journey and into your future. We're projecting into your future. Oftentimes when we are in real estate and things get challenging, because they will, I promise you, they will get challenging. Sometimes we may find it to be a struggle to find motivation. You'll be able to go back to this and stay from a place of gratitude and humility and come back to why is it that you're doing this? Would anyone like to share any of their big life moments here? Some of their dreams. Oops. I'll
I
share
got a few
mine.
written down.
Oh, go ahead. Jeremy, say it again.
I got a few down. So big one is buy a duplex,
Nice.
go on 3 vacations,
Mm-hmm.
and then get VIP for Salmon Fest and go to Kilby Court Fest.
Sweet.
And then donate to Alaska cat rescue.
Nice. Thank you for sharing. Great. So I encourage you to post that somewhere that you can keep that as your vision. Make it meaningful. Like, I think super important to have like heart behind it. Anybody here want to share?
Yeah, I've got a couple, I didn't write it down, but just thought of them.
Mm-hmm.
But, we did things very quickly last year. We got married and are having a baby and moved up here all last year. So we did not get to take a honeymoon, so paying for a honeymoon would be great and just kind of the honeymoon of our dreams, not just, something, we didn't want to spur the moment and do anything. We really wanted to think about it. So do that. Build up a savings account for our new baby. And then, replace my income from my other job and build on that, not just stop and limit myself, but keep building it up.
Beautiful. Now let me ask you, where would you go for your honeymoon?
Oh my gosh, I love to travel out of the country. So
Mhm.
I would do I would really like to go to, kind of like Tokyo, Japan, go that route and do a whole tour there, but I don't know, my husband's a beach person
Uh-huh.
and I'm like a let's go on an adventure kind of person, so probably find somewhere with both of those.
Yeah. Oh, well, Japan has lots of beaches.
And let's see, I could eat Japanese food every single day.
Oh,
so
yeah, same.
That's kind of
I
my,
know.
that's my dream. I've been to Europe, quite a few times, and so I'd really like to travel kind of somewhere new and see a completely different part of the world.
Awesome. When you guys have a unified vision, get a picture of it.
Yeah.
There may be like a, and I'm gonna get funny about it, but I think like even a picture of you two, like superimpose a photo of both of you on it, like at the beach, eating Japanese food
There
or
we go,
whatever.
eating sushi at the beach.
Yeah, and bikinis, right? Exactly. So just get purposeful about like, you have to attach the feeling. And like when things get tough, can you reference back to that photo? Like motivation, when you're like, this sucks. I don't want to write 10 golden letters. You're really good at that, by the way. I look at you, but I'm like, I know what my hangups are. So
I like
Matt's,
to do it.
I know, but Matt's really, really good at consistency and doing what he says he's going to do. And I admire that. So I'm just calling you out on good job. But for those of us who sometimes feel like, man, this feels challenging. It's like, why are we doing it? And it will shift. Like what my goals and my dreams were 11 years ago, 2 years ago even, have shifted now. And you just have to be able to revisit that and be like, oh, where am I going? Like, I wasn't the same person then. Where are we going now? So I want you to revisit that, but especially make sure that you're on board with your significant other. So that way you're not like, I want to go way up here. And they're like, wait, we're going over here. So make sure that you all can set time to be able like, hey, what's your dreams? What are your goals? What are our goals? We can have individual dreams and goals, but where are we going together? Or like if it's just you and your kids, then just focus on like what kind of reality do you want to create in your world with them? And dream with the kids. The kids are great accountability partners, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
They are. They will.
but they hold you to it.
Yeah.
Don't tell them something unless
Oh
they're
my God.
sticking to it.
Exactly. So it's like,
They're gonna want that candy.
yeah, they're gonna be like, hey, mommy, did you do this so we can do that? I'm like, okay. So, and they're your biggest cheerleaders too. I'll leave you with this. Your kids will also strangely be your greatest cheerleaders. If they see you struggling, somehow they like imagine what's the advice you would give yourself or give your kids actually. Like if they were in your position and you're like, I can't do this, or this feels hard. Like, what would you tell your kids if they were there? Like, think about like mental blocks and reframing. And I just really want you all to like be very purposeful about mindset. It's not perfect. It's about coming back to what is it that you need to do to move forward, and believe in yourselves. That's all I want for you guys is to believe in you because I believe in you. Okay, Kelsey, can you read this?
To achieve success, you need motivation and inspiration for doing it. Your big why.
Yes. So often you'll hear us talk about like, what's your big why? Like, why are you doing this? In reality, if you don't like, it's not just a job. It's like, what is this going to do for you? So, so as we go through Ignite, we're going to look at ways like what's limiting your own beliefs or limiting your success. And we're going to remove those barriers that you've been putting in your own way. And so we want to connect with your goals and help you push to achieve those goals, right? And I always want you to think big, possibility thinking, and then lean into like, everyone has a big why. So why are you doing this? And what is it going to serve? And then let's dig deeper. Like, why? Why is that important to you? Like, to be able to go on a honeymoon, what's that going to do for you? What's that going to do for your spouse? What's, to be able to travel or to be able to, take care of your parents. Okay, someone on Zoom, I want to know what stirs your soul. Think beyond your business. What really drives you? Is it money, freedom, providing for your family, college tuition for your kids, building a legacy for your future, supporting a charity? What is it? And for the rest of you, I want you to like write that down or really ponder on that. Isaac, are you online? Can you share with me like what stirs your soul? I would love to hear from you.
For me, it would be freedom.
Freedom. What
Yeah.
does that mean to you? What does freedom mean?
Just to do what I want whenever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what does that require?
To be disciplined and consistent.
In what way?
With like lead generation, the real estate stuff.
And so to be able to do what you want, like what would you do? What's freedom to you?
I'd go on vacation and like I'd buy my family like everything they want.
Yeah. And so sounds like that requires some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we look at money for the good that it can do, not
hmm
just for ourselves, but maybe for our families.
Yeah.
I love that. I want you to keep that, locked and loaded. That's the key. Okay. Let's keep going. Thank you for sharing. So in our last activity, we kind of estimated how much you'd like to earn to pay the things that are most important to you. And so let's get real about how commission works. Okay. So this is where your commission dollars go. So many new agents get the check for their first closing, pocket it all because it's an amazing amount of money, right? And then get in trouble down the line. And I really want to make sure to set you guys up for success. Okay, so let's talk about where the money goes. And we'll actually be going and how it will be going towards your goal. Okay, and these numbers are very general. So it's only meant as an example, but I want to give you an idea of that. So here, this amount, this is going to explain like a third goes to the market center to cover your company dollar, your franchise royalty and fees. And after you pay the market center, roughly another third goes back into your business to cover marketing, operating expenses, signs, car, phone, anything else that you need to conduct and grow your business, right? And then you need to also save money for taxes. You don't want to get in trouble with taxes. So depending on how you're structured, you'll want to talk to your tax advisor about this. And this is a mistake many people make. So you get your, often people think like, oh my gosh, you're a real estate agent. Look at this big commission check you get. Yes. And I have to pay my brokerage with, and the market center and the fees and how we cap, right? Until you cap, and then you can collect 100%. And then you should be budgeting money to save for any marketing. If you have listings, you're spending money on marketing, or even working with buyers, you're spending money on gas to be able to go show them properties. You have other expenses, either whether working with buyers or sellers, but you need your vehicle either way, right? And you have to pay that insurance. And then any marketing material that you have. Your first year in business, I really want to try to get you guys succeeding with as little money as possible. Do it as organically as possible, but still there are expenses. And then, yeah, when you're paying taxes, you should typically be budgeting, I don't know, that's really up to you guys. I used to budget like between 25 to 30% of my commission check. But again, please just check with your tax consultant. If you're structured as an LLC or if you're as an S corp, you just talk to your tax person. How much should I be setting aside for taxes? And when should I be paying taxes? That's important because you have to be, it's not like you're paying taxes once a year. Depending on how you're structured, you may have to pay periodically. So really, really important to start that conversation now. Okay. And then finally you get your share, and it doesn't look like a lot, right? But it's important that you start good habits now and being able to like, how are you going to structure your commission? And what are you going to do moving forward to be able to help you on your trajectory? And then once you cap, you'll be able to get more money. But this is something to notice. Okay, here's another notice that I want to check in with you all. When we talk about money, what's your visceral reaction to money? Talking about this, how does your body feel? Are you thinking like, okay, I'll just get another deal. I'll work, I'll hustle, I'll make things happen. Or are you like, oh my gosh, I gotta grasp and hold on? Are you poverty mindset and lack of abundance, or are you abundance mindset? Think about that. How were we raised with money? And that's something I just want to bring to your awareness. Notice what just happened to your body when we talked about money. Right? I'll be totally vulnerable with you guys. Like when I grew up with around money, I get like, it's like gut wrenching because I grew up with like, don't answer the phone. It's probably like the collection company. Like, don't answer the phone. So we never answered the phone and we never answered the door growing up. So money to me was like, this is like stressful. And I grew up that way. And I married someone who's very abundant mindset, like great risk versus reward. Let's go invest in real estate. And I'm like, this is scary. And so he has to drag me in to get, and then here I am in real estate. You guys are like, what? But if this sounds like you, I'm just sharing my story because I had to do a shift of like, how am I treating this money in my hand? Am I pinching pennies because I think that there won't be enough? Or am I willing to be like, I know I can do this and envision success because I'm willing to put the action behind the vision. So this is just, this is only about like noticing. All I want you to do is notice your relationship with money. Okay? I hope that helps. Okay, so this is like the magic number. Everybody's like, hey, how much do you guys want to make? $100,000. I always picked this number when I first started. And so these are, how many houses must you help buy or sell in the next 12 months to reach your net income goal? So this is just an example. Okay, an example income goal. So let's take a look at that. So net income goal, $100,000, right? The company dollar and royalty cap. So this is not accurate. This is just an example. Our cap varies depending if you're on a team or if you're solo. If you're solo, it's like your cap is 15,000 and then you got a $3,000 royalty cap. I think when I first started, my cap was upwards of like 20,000, 25,000, I think it was. But then they dropped it to 15. So I was like, yes, this is great. Then there's business expenses. That looks like a lot of business expenses to me. Like a lot of that could be shaved off. But again, this is just an example to give you kind of perspective. And then total gross commission income. So in order to net $100,000, you need to be able to have a gross commission income of 180,000. And then your average commission would be about this. These are just play numbers. We'll get really super dialed in when we have individual meetings about like, what are your goals? Wonderful. If you want to be able to net this amount, we will shave down your business expenses because they're not going to be that high. That's like if you have that's a really big budget, but we'll dial it in. And then we can see like, okay, great. How many houses do you need to sell? And then here the transaction goal would be about 20 houses. Okay. So just kind of a loose example of showing you where does the money go? And like, what do you need to account for? Okay. And then same here, like we'll work on this individually, but start to think about, okay, how much money do you want to make? And then plug in your company dollar. And that's the maximum amount you can expect to pay the market center. And then your annual business expenses includes like salaries that you know, if you hire an assistant or lead generation, like what type of lead generation are you doing? Are you boosting your posts? Are you paying for, you know, MLS dues or like whatever other fees that you have or paying for education? Most of the education we will offer you here at KW is going to be free. Like we really want to make sure that you get as much education for free as possible. And then what's your average commission? If you're like brand new, well, we can tell you what the average commission is typically, and it depends on your region. And then yeah, and then basically your total gross commission, like wonderful. Well, then we will take a look at what it is that you need to make in order to profit, right?
On the business expense note, outside of royalty and capping and whatnot, my biggest single line expense is car mileage write-off, which is 72.5 cents a mile for 2026. So tracking that and making sure you write all that off, it's, you know, 15,000 a year or something.
Yeah, it's
So-
amazing.
I also write off my office space in my house. I gotta do my heat, electricity,
Wonderful.
and internet.
Beautiful. So for those of you online, if you didn't hear that, it's tracking your mileage and there's apps to do that. I use Mile IQ.
Same.
Yeah. So Mile IQ is great. And you just after try to do it daily. Sometimes I do it weekly or I'm like, oh, I went to this appointment. You swipe one way for business, swipe the other way for personal. And then it starts to track.
You can also break down your personal for medical, volunteer, and those have sub tiers for write-off on your taxes as well.
Nice.
So if you're doing any volunteer work, it's like 25 cents a mile or something.
Nice.
So
I did not know that.
yeah,
Good.
extra
Good.
write-offs.
Yeah, write-offs are great. And then like Kelsey mentioned, like talking to your tax advisor, like if you have home office, you can write off like the square footage of the space that you take up for your home office. So totally helpful. And then let's see. Okay, let's get going. All right, any ahas, any thoughts? All right. we'll keep going. We're just gonna keep going because I'd love to be able to get you guys out early so you can attend that jumpstart, the command jumpstart class. Okay, so let's talk about what the expectations are moving forward. This is the accountability portion that we'll be moving forward with. Okay, so for the daily success system, so the goal of IGNITE is to equip you with the mindset, skills, and tools you need to secure your first appointment and to teach you a successful close on the buying or selling of a home. And so every day you'll be doing this. Your daily success system consists of daily lead generation activities. And the goal is 10 conversations, 10 contacts added to your database. Okay. 10 handwritten notes. Utilizing the 10-5-1 social media engagement. And so what this means is you're engaging with social media. Maybe you're doing 10 likes, 5 comments, and 1 post. And then enrichments. And then you'll learn through this as we move along with IGNITE. We have enrichments every Friday. And this Friday will be on open houses in Anchorage from 9 to 11. Bill Uri will be sharing his wisdom with us. He does it at a really high level. And he's been very, very successful. And so he's going to share his tips and tricks. It will be available via Zoom. It will be recorded. All of these classes will be recorded. So if for some reason you're unable to attend, I'm hoping to upload them and be able to give you access. But ideally, I would like you in person. That's my preference. If you can't, via Zoom is great. And if you absolutely can't because you have something else going on, then just, let me know. I'll send you the recording. Okay. This is your job. Your job is to do this. You will be held accountable to this every day. At the beginning of IGNITE, we will be checking on these. This is not about shame, blame, or guilt. This is not like, well, why didn't you do this? No, it's not. It's your business. You do what you'd like to do for your business, and it's going to show up. If you don't do these things, that's okay. I mean, like sometimes life happens. Totally okay. Can you make up for it the next day? I also don't want you to fall into the trap of, oh my gosh, I'm falling behind, and then self-sabotage. Make sense? I want you to show up where you show up. And this is your opportunity to stumble and fall if you do, and to be able to notice. Remember, accountability requires awareness. So we're going to rise up above it and be like, ooh, what got in the way? Right? And what could have happened differently? This is the type of coaching we'll do. Like, what was your notice around this? Excellent. Okay. What's your commitment for next week or tomorrow? Wonderful. Let's go. And then it's just that encouragement and to be able to be in community, to be able to help one another through any challenges or, hey, I need help with this, or how would I navigate that? I'm that person for you. You just reach out if you're feeling like you're struggling with any of it. By the time we're done with IGNITE and you've done like your 10 conversations, every single day, then you should have 200 contacts in your database. And if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know who to talk to. I'm brand new here. I've been there, done that. I was brand new to Wasilla, didn't know a soul, knew no one. You can do it. I just hosted open houses. I met people through open houses. I had conversations with people at the grocery store, at the coffee shops. I met people through door knocking. And if you're like, well, that's easy. You're you're extroverted. No, I walked up to a door, turned around, didn't even knock, went into my car and cried. And so my daughter would witness me like breaking down, like, I can't do this. And she's like, Mommy, you can do this. And she was like only 4 years old. So if you're like struggling, please call me. Hey, I just need a sounding board. Like, I've been there. I'm here to help motivate you and encourage you and tell you, okay, brush it off, brush your knees, get back up. All right, you got this. Let's fix your crown. Keep going. You guys are rock stars. You can do it. And each of you have your own superpower. You can do it. And maybe in your own way. All right. So I'm going to give you suggestions on how to do this, but you can do it. So it's going to start today. You can make 10 conversations, add 10 contacts to your database, 10 handwritten notes, 10 likes, like other people's social media posts, comment on 5 other posts, and do 1 social media post yourself. Could it be about, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm in this real estate class and this is what I learned. I'm excited to be able to share this knowledge or do this, to help, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking to connect with clients and to bring them the best experience or the best version of me, whatever that looks like to you. Maybe you want to go preview homes and do a video walkthrough. Or maybe you want to advertise the fact that you'll be hosting an open house. If you haven't shadowed anyone in an open house yet, don't go jumping into open houses yet. If you feel confident with them and you have, please do. Or go preview vacant homes and get permission from the seller to be able to advertise. Okay. Let's see, what else was I going to say? We also have, I will be sending all of you a link where you can track your progress, and it will send you reminder emails. How was your day? Did you do this? Did you do that? So you'll notice that from command, it'll come up for you and just, that means I signed you up for it. So if you're like, KW is asking, how was your day? Don't forget to report your numbers. That's your reminder. That's like, and if you're ignoring those reminders, oh my gosh, people, please make this a priority. So I can't like emphasize this enough. I expect everyone to report their numbers out. And also, before you go making phone calls, I also want to touch on the do not call registry. There's a do not call list and the TCPA, the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. It's very important that you have consent before you start reaching out to people, or if they are on a do not call registry, like their phone number is, do not call them. Because you will get fined like at least $500 or more. So there are penalties for calling people in a do not call registry. I will send you the login information, or you can open up, it's free. You can create your own account and look at the do not call registry. So subscribe to the registry, number 1. So there's a dedicated website. And so you can register for it and then just check before you make a call, check that the consumer, make sure that the consumer is not on the registry. If they're on the registry, do not call them and make a note in your system. And then update your call list regularly so you can check every 30 days. So it says at least every 31 days, check. And honor consumers' requests. If you have someone who says like, hey, please do not call me, like honor their request. If you're calling people within your sphere, your friends, your family, people you know, connect with them on a human level. And then you can see if it's okay to keep in touch with them. Okay. Okay, so powerful conversations get results. I will send you guys some, we have actually some, let me see, some scripts to like help you know, like, okay, well, what kind of conversation can I have with folks? And there's ways to lead generate. And when we have conversations with them, it'll uncover motivations, identify objections. You'll be able to close a deal. You'll speak in terms of, in terms that the consumer understands. So we don't necessarily want to talk real estate lingo and be like, oh, well, I need you to sign the ARAC and the ROI on this and blah, blah, blah. Like, whoa, like speak to your customer like they want to be spoken to. But if that's their language and they understand, fantastic. But I want you to build confidence in speaking with people. So it's important to know the power of words that we use and the importance of practicing conversations. So just as a doctor learns about anatomy before working with patients, you know, we need to prepare and have meaningful conversations with clients. And so using powerful language helps get the end point. Like, are you asking important questions or asking for the appointment? Are you asking for the business? If you're just having conversations, then that's all you're getting. But if you actually can ask for the business, that's great. Knowing and practicing what to say helps you communicate your value and provide value to the lead or the client. And proper conversations, including powerful questions, help you uncover motivations. Like, why is that important to you? Tell me more. Like, stay curious. Because sometimes it's like, they may be like, you know what? It's very important to me that we have a house with large windows. And you could just totally gloss over that and keep going. And then you find a home, they like it, but the windows aren't big enough. But if you continue to dig deep, maybe having large windows reminds them of their childhood home. Or maybe having the large windows helps because they want to be able to see outdoors or have more natural light come in, because maybe they suffer from seasonal depression. So digging deeper, tell me more. Why is that important to you? And sometimes it's a simple answer. Sometimes it might be more complicated. Maybe it's important to have another bedroom on the main floor. Wonderful. Tell me why that's important to you. You know? Because I want to be able to move my aging mother in to live with us. Okay, fantastic. Good to know. Because then you understand their motivation. And so practicing conversations also helps you sound like you've got, you know how to navigate what their needs are, right? And then practicing allows you to ask questions in a way that people will be able to quickly share the information you need to better serve them. So why am I telling you all of this? We have scripts that you can practice and you're like, well, wait, but it doesn't sound like me. But it gives you key points in there of like when to ask for the business and how to connect with your clients. Okay. So purpose and benefits of conversation. Did you find everything you were looking for? Go ahead, look around and please let me know if I can help you. Or I see you admiring that big screen TV. Are you looking to get one for the big game this weekend? Have any of you heard of phrases like this or ones that seem familiar or similar to this? Especially when you're
At the grocery store every single time. Did you find everything you were looking for?
yeah,
Every
exactly.
single time.
And how do you answer them?
And then some.
Yeah, right. And then some.
Yeah,
Right?
you always end up with way more than you actually went to the store for, but.
One of my favorites to use is like if somebody thanks me for something, I'm like, oh, it's my pleasure. And that's like very customer centric. It's my pleasure to serve you. Basically, you're saying, it's no bother. I love being able to help. It's my pleasure. That was like a phrase that was commonly used in the Ritz-Carlton, like fancy hotels. It's my pleasure. They were teaching customer service. How do we be of service to our clients? Okay, great. So I want to define what a sphere is. So when I talk about like calling people in your sphere, these are people you've met in one way, shape, or form. They're your Mets. So you'll hear me often say, who are your Mets? These are people that you know. They're from church, from whatever clubs or whatever social gatherings you're in, or you have certain activities that you like doing. If you like skiing, or you're part of a bowling community, whatever that looks like, or you play bunco and with the ladies, then great, then that's fantastic. Or whatever, like, who are the people that you know? This is your sphere. Okay. And we call it sphere of influence. Okay. These are people who are most likely to help you. Your sphere of influence are the people that they who they know, trust, and respect you. And you the same, right? So would you rather do business with people that you know, trust, and respect? Do you think your friends and acquaintances would rather use a realtor that they know and trust? Sometimes. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you'll have family that's like, ooh, I don't want to use this person. Or you have friends who are like, I don't want to mix friends and business. And that's okay.
Don't take it personal. It'll happen a lot.
It can, absolutely. You'll be like, wait, but we were friends, and they chose someone else. That I'm telling you, real estate is going to like shake up all your insecurities. And all I ask you to do is to notice. Don't take anything. Yeah, thank you for adding that. Don't take anything personally. It's like everybody has the ability to choose, and maybe you weren't their flavor of ice cream. And if you're anything like me, I'm like, I want everybody to like me. And sometimes that could hit hard until you change that mindset into, I just wasn't their flavor of ice cream. That's okay. I'm mango flavored. Maybe they don't. They like vanilla. It's okay.
But it's no different than, like one of your friends that becomes a doctor. You don't want to go see them personally and
Yes.
them all in your business. There's a lot of people who don't want you in their personal business, and they won't use certain lenders because they don't want them touching their financials.
Yeah,
It just happens.
it does happen. And thank you for bringing that up, because it's a real thing. And yeah, and we watch it all the time. So according to the National Association of Realtors, which we refer to as NAR, 66% of sellers and 41% of buyers found their agent through a friend, neighbor, or relative, or used an agent that they had worked with before. So it costs you how much? Nothing. Costs you nothing to call people that you already know. It requires fewer contacts and less effort to ask them for their business or to refer friends and family. Okay. So here are some questions for you. Who do you know that's going through a life event that may lead to a move? Sometimes people are going through divorce. Sometimes they're accepting a new job out of state. Just life events, or they had a baby. Is their home growing or shrinking? And who does not yet know that you're a real estate agent? If they don't know, you need to pick up the phone and call them. And who have you not spoken to in the last 2 weeks? That's an easy conversation. Hey, I was thinking about you. Hey, I was driving by your neighborhood. How's life? Hey, guess what? This is just like New Year's. Like, oh my gosh, how was the holidays? How are you guys doing? Do you have any special plans for 2026? Wonderful. Connect with them. It doesn't require a 20 to 40-minute conversation. Hey, I have a few minutes. You crossed my mind. How's life? I just wanted to catch up with you. Hey, and before I let you go, do you have any real estate needs for 2026? Or do you know anyone I could help? Thank you. And that's it. It's having these conversations. All right. And then catch your sphere on the move. Like the likelihood of a move, do you see it spans 7 to 10 years? And people often move in phases and they get closer to moving. You know, where are you catching them? Did they just move? Then they're likely not to move just yet. But if you know that they've lived in their place for a while, and sometimes that gap can become closer, especially if they're military and they're PCSing. That's important to be able to know that. Okay, so if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. How do I begin these conversations? I want to teach you something pretty easy to remember. It's called FORD. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So oftentimes we'll have conversations using FORD, and you may not realize that you're already using it. Okay, so hey, Matt, how's the family?
Family's great.
Wonderful, wonderful. How's work going?
Work's doing well. We're slowing down a little bit and catching up on the day to
Wonderful.
day.
Excellent. I'm excited. So do you have any plans for 2026? Any special trips or things that you're going to be doing?
I'm headed down to Florida this month, actually.
Oh,
Get out and
yay.
see the sun.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. What are you going to do in Florida?
Go down and see some family and maybe go surfing on the beach.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So I tied in like recreation, occupation, family. You don't have to ask all of these questions in one sitting and not in order. It's not like, all right, what are your dreams, Matt? You know, like we don't have to go through all of them. Even if you just ask 2 of them, that's totally okay. But having conversations is like how to break the ice. Like how do we have conversations? How do we relate to them? And then take note. Oh, how's the family? Oh my gosh, if you remember they have a dog. How's the dog? Tell me your dog's name again. Misty? Oh, fantastic. How's Misty doing?
And write those down in command.
Yes.
Mhm.
You will forget the kids' names or how
Mhm.
many kids there are. Even like with friends, I'm like, 3 kids? 2? I don't know.
Yes, thank you for saying that. That's where I was going with this.
Yeah.
Is in command, you have the ability to enter their contact and then put notes down. Put notes down of like, oh, their kid's getting ready to graduate from college, or oh, their dog ran away and just keeps running away, or whatever, or their dog's name, or oh, they're going to Florida and they're excited about spending time in the sun.
And then set reminders for yourself if there's anything big. Like if their kid is graduating, set a reminder to follow up.
Yes.
How did graduation go? What's their plans for their future?
Exactly. So as you guys start to explore command, you have the ability to set those reminders, like exactly like Kelsey said. I think that's powerful. And
Gives you
so
another contact.
precisely, exactly. It's another opportunity to touch them. Okay. And then here are some examples, like, so we just covered some of it, like, how's your family doing? I heard you had a new baby, or like, again, with the reminder of followed up and, oh, hey, during our last conversation, I remember you mentioning that so-and-so was graduating from high school, or, hey, are you still working at ABC company? Great. Or how are you enjoying that? Any changes in the works? Or did you ever get that boat you talked about? So you're not renting one all the time? Or are you still thinking about retiring in the mountains one day? You know, so practice these conversations. All right, super. All right. Any ahas, any thoughts? Anything that you learned today that you're like, ooh, I'm going to implement that this week? Name one thing.
The reminder of the 80/20, you know, is always nice just because you do look at your list in front of you sometimes and get overwhelmed. So just remembering to at least get 20% done, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else online? Isaac?
To keep like a positive mindset.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yes. And it's a continual practice. Come back to center, come back to center, come back to center. Like it's just until you build that muscle. I promise you, once you start building that muscle and so on that, what can you do to maintain a positive mindset? What are you going to feed your brain?
Just to like correct negative thoughts and think positive.
Mm-hmm. And might I suggest maybe even listen to some podcasts that are uplifting, you
Yeah.
know, listening to stuff like Tony Robbins, um, listening to the MREA podcast. And there's a ton of things out there. Brendan Burchard, he's another big one. There's a lot of them on like um, self-development, personal development. Anybody in here? Any things that you guys are going to implement? Nothing?
Everything.
Everything? Great answer. All right, here we go. Okay, so ahas to achievement. So how has your thinking changed? What ideas and mindsets were new? This is just something to ponder here for a moment. What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful to you today? And how will your behaviors be different going forward? This is your opportunity to notice. And then how are you going to take what you've learned here, one aspect, and integrate it into your day throughout the day today? This is your action. How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you take? Make that promise to yourself. What actions will you take? And then what tools, models, or systems will you use? And how will they make you accountable? Well, you'll see an email come through asking you, how was your day from KW? Please fill it out. That's our tracker. That's how we can see like, hey, where are you at and where are you going? Did you do these activities? Wonderful, right? Okay, so preparing for our next session, embracing your job. So I will be emailing you a couple of things. I'll be emailing you this the participant guide here for Ignite. And in it, it will also have conversation practice. I want you all to find a peer that you can role play some of these conversations. And then preparing a call list for tomorrow. Name 10 people that you're going to call tomorrow. And then we will role play. And so we'll be able to kind of role play that tomorrow as well. And update your information, like get in contact with people and start making contacts. Okay, this is your daily habit. I want you all, if you don't have access to Command, please reach out to me and let me know. If you do, then if you haven't started the 66-day challenge, do that. But ideally, I want to be able to let you guys go here in a few minutes so you can log on to into that Jumpstart with Command. And if you need information for that, I'll email it over now. So just let me know if you guys need that information. And so we covered a lot today, but this was just the tip of the iceberg. This was just a little bit of an intro to KW, about our culture, about having a good mindset, about KW value, about resources, and then your career vision, like where are you going moving forward? And then check in, how's your mindset now? Where are we going? Are you excited about the future that you'll create? And then that is all for me today. So I want to thank you very much for joining me. And I'm excited to be able to walk this process with you guys. And so tomorrow, please be ready, make your 10 contacts and do your success system. I will send you an email with kind of like, hey, homework, this is what you need to do. Moving forward, here's the participant guide. Here's some scripts, practice, and we'll connect tomorrow at 9 a.m. I appreciate your patience and stop recording.